So, with the Deadpool movie out there, and the fact that I probably enjoyed watching the movie as much because Cable was running around in it. There's only one fighting game Cable has ever been in. Proper fighting game, and it's this one. Marvel 2's Cable is interesting because of all the crazy bullshit he can do. And I kind of wanted to go through like a reminder and see if I can just quickly remind myself what this guy does. So here we go, Cable appreciation for how sick this character was in this game, and unfortunately won't show up in anything ever again. But, cute gimmick that he's got. Cute gimmick. If you keep pressing this button, or if you, like, hold it down, what is it? You can make him continually spin. Oh! Funny, okay, so that's a thing, but apparently you can't spin it in the 360 version. Apparently that's one thing that did not make it over on the port from the arcade/Dreamcast. How funny is that? Alright, so Cable is, pretty interesting. He's got one of the greatest, most godlike standing roundhouses in fighting game history. This shit is stupid cool. And his stand HP, which was kind of nuts when he first came out, was a complete projectile. So Cable got a gunshot that he could shoot multiple times, and everybody loved this thing. I love that if you shoot the gun, he holds this pose, because he can just keep shooting. And if you just keep shooting, he holds the pose. I think that's super sick. I think that's super sick. So he's actually got a proper projectile button, kind of like Mega Man has. He does have access to a raw launcher in terms of down, forward, down, forward, heavy punch. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. I do love this. This move looks sick. You can do a lot of crazy bullshit off this thing too, and we'll talk about that in a second, but yeah, a big part of his game plan is canceling this stuff and going into that, and going into a time grenade. You can do plasma, which I love this shit. You can like angle the way it, if you wiggle the arcade stick, you can actually make it move in random like hopping directions. Or if you just mash the buttons, you can actually make it wiggle all over the place. I think that's kind of neat. And you can do it in the air, you can tiger knee it as well, and yeah, you combo it off of this shit. I think Cable's actually got a command grab, which is probably his most useless move. And he just throws you. It is terribly bad. And you can't get anything after. Everyone kind of forgets that he has this, but look how cool he looks right here! Look at... You can hear his arm! This shit is fucking sick! Yeah. Everyone forgets he kind of has that, but I love the way that shit looks. In terms of the kind of nutty, crazy stuff, I don't think we're missing anything else. Oh no, he has this move, which is another kind of useless one. Fireball forward with kicks is this, like, overhead punch. And, this is similar to this. You just don't see many people ever do it. This is a fantastic move. I don't even know why the hell he has a scimitar or what he's doing during it. It's kind of hard to see, like, what exactly is happening. He's just chucking, like, a thing of energy. Yeah, his throw is only with kicks. You can't actually throw with punches because it's all cooked into his gunshots. So yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff with this sprite that you can appreciate. That I've always thought made Cable look really, really goddamn cool, just for a dude with a gun. So I like that. Now let's get into the kind of crazy stuff. So super wise, he's got the Hyper Viper, and if I mash the shit out of the buttons, it gets all wiggly and you get more damage. But if I don't, it stays as a constant stream. I always thought this thing looked really cool because it resembles a Ghostbusters beam. So if you whoop the shit out of the buttons, you get way more damage and it wiggles like a mother. And I always thought that was really cool. If you do Fireball forward with kicks, you get Time Flip, which leaves them in combo as Cable gets like a clone of himself. And that thing can be really hard to combo into. I think this would work. Yeah, this should work if I do this. There we go. There we go. So you can get some crazy bullshit off that. It's really not that good because it doesn't do a lot of damage. I don't think Cable gets any more supers besides that. He pretty much has Hyper Viper Beam and this, but what makes him good is kind of the broken stuff. So Cable's stand heavy kick can't be regular jumped out of, but it can be super jumped out of. So if you press down up, you can jump out of this thing, which makes it interesting, because if you do a super jump, you can get things immediately off the ground, like a Hyper Viper beam. So the input for this is sort of one of the most important things to learn when you're playing all these old fighting games. It's a tiger knee motion. You're going from down to up forward really fast, and then doing a 2-button input. So as soon as you get off the ground, you can do the Hyper Viper beam, meaning that you hit the ground first before they do, instead of being right here and doing it, where you get a lot of recovery and they pop out at the same time you do. What this sets up for is this. See how you can hit them a little bit? And if you're really fast, you get this crazy bullshit. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I'm not even that good at it. You can get all 5 of your levels outputted on a character. And what makes Cable so good is that when your opponent calls an assist, you just Hyper Viper the shit out of them, and you can just do damage. You don't even need to short hop after the second one. You can just hold up if you want to get a second. Look how much time you have, man. Look at this. I'm just pressing up after that, and you can get this stuff. But here's the thing. When I was first playing this game, this was a difficult motion. To do that was actually kind of difficult for me. I didn't quite understand it. So there's another shortcut, and it's the scimitar shortcut. You can do this. And if you do scimitar into super, look at that. You got a sort of mocked short hop in case you didn't know how to do, well, I messed it up on the right side. In case you didn't know how to do this. Oh my god, am I really only good at it on one side? There we go. So the scimitar shortcut is essentially just Shoryuken and then do another fireball with punches. And you get that. Now, to put it into combo is the most important part. If you do the regular one, wait a little bit, and then all of a sudden you are in business. But if you do the scimitar one, which I sometimes do on the right side because I suck at the right side. There we go. I don't even know how many more I could get, but you generally don't even need to do it again. You can just hold up. So, scimitar cancel, and then super jump cancel. And that is commonly known as the Air Hyper Viper. AHVB, there's t-shirts about it. That is the thing that I really wish that they referenced in the movie, which is the Cable's Hyper Viper beam, but they didn't, but I'm fine with that. The other final crazy thing that is like a surface level Cable thing that makes him super good is this. I'm going to go to training mode options. So, I'm gonna knock Cable out. And I'm gonna do something very specific here. I'm going to set the dummy action to guard, all, and I'm gonna see if I can get the timing of this. Damn it, this is gonna be tough. Piece of shit, this is gonna be tough. Because there's an interesting thing in this game where if you're on the incoming and you block an attack like a gunshot, like this, while falling, your falling animation will no longer be blocking. You can actually hit them with an instant Hyper Viper beam. And let me try to set it up. Let me guard. All. And he's not blocking anymore. So there you go. A super terrible thing that this character has, if he lands a snapback, you're essentially totally screwed. The only hope is that you pray that they come in and they hit a button and get hit by the gunshot. That can sometimes mess up the timing of it, but for the most part, it doesn't so much. Like, even if I got hit by it, you still can totally jack him up, and that leads to a whole bunch of crazy bullshit. Yeah, he's nuts. Cable's always been an insane character, and he's probably the best of the newer characters that were added to the game, because the new sprites tended to be kind of bad. Like, Meryl was kind of bad, and Hayato and Amingo, they were all, like, rough and kind of weird to use, but Cable was like, yo, like, this guy is nuts. This guy is nuts. And it probably wasn't developer intended by any means, but dude, I love the way this character looks. Yeah, Marvel 2's something special, and Cable's a big part of that. Although I hate fighting against this bitch. I hate fighting against Cable so much!